All right, so this is another Nitro Slash. I think I paid like 140 for it. It's nasty. Dude, it's way nastier than I thought it was. But that's why I make these videos, to kind of educate people, because if they knowingly sell you a piece of shit, you need to go back on there and you need to demand that they give you some money back. This is a piece of shit. This is a lot worse than I thought it was. They didn't say anything about it being like super corroded. Okay, no, the front wheels are good on it. Okay, hopefully it's just nasty. See, they said the engine was locked. Oh, the engine's not locked on it. I can feel the compression on it. So if I can get these things for about $125, $150, I'm buying it. These things are expensive brand new. I think these are like $369, I think, brand new. It's a lot of money. Man, they had these bodies on sale. We're gonna take this engine apart to inspect it in this video because it just looks bad. I don't know, man. These back wheels look pretty freaking cool on here, and they got real heavy rubber or hard rubber. All their pro lines look. Gladiator. The gear mesh will tell you a lot. It's perfect. Check the batteries out. You think these are going to be good? You never freaking know. All right, let's pull the air filters off. Ooh, they got the correct one on here. Nice. All right, that one don't mean nothing. Ooh, it looks pretty good. Carburetor looks absolutely beautiful. Let's see if it's locked. Oh, okay. Good sign, good sign. Check the glow plug. Ooh. Oh yeah, somebody said I was stupid for not blowing the glow plug hole out with air. Damn. This is the first one that I kind of should have done that on. Damn. That's the only like troll comment I ever got that was true. That you hit that with air compressor before you pull the glow plug on a dirty one. Truth is, if you watch somebody's video, especially if they're new at something and all you're doing is just getting triggered and pissed off, you're probably an asshole. You probably don't have any friends, and it's you that's the dumbass. Look, glow plug's bad. Yeah, I had to get that out of the trash. Don't throw the copper gasket away. So since we pulled it back out of the trash, let's give it another chance. Maybe it'll start working. Sometimes that happens. Come on, give me that 1.5 volts. They're kind of dead. I mean, they might work in a remote, possibly. I don't know. If it has a receiver in here, I'm gonna be happy. Oh, it's got Phillips screws. And look, we have a receiver on here. Come on, be something cool. Come on, where's the eye? We got a TQI. Freaking nailed it. Awesome. We did not get a transmitter with this one. Oh, look, we're gonna try these batteries that we just tested. Oh man, so always put your hand. Yeah, it's bad. At least it works. It's good. Oh, we didn't look in the gas tank. Gas tank's cleaned out. Dang, that's a very, very good sign. You know what? I'm going to pull the engine off, and we need to go ahead and barium and chem dip this engine. All right, we'll go ahead and throw this pipe in there too. Now, I'm not buying these so I can go around YouTube and try to say, oh, I got 5 slashers and 10 T-Maxes and 12 HPIs. No, not doing it for those reasons. I'm trying to learn how to work on these things. I'm going to fix these up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find somebody when they start eyeballing me running this thing once it's fixed up, and they're going to come over and talk to me, and I'm going to say, hey man, I'll trade you this for your old ones. You know, so they might have some old RC cars, and they're going to go, really? Well, I ain't started them up in a while. Been a couple years. I'm going to say, that's what I want. But you need to give me a deal. Make me a deal. That's why I'm building these. So I'm going to slowly rank up. So all this goes into barium and chem dip. Look, that dude was right. I didn't get mad when he commented that. Look, I didn't blow the glow plug hole out. Look, and we knocked a little sand in it. Damn. These lines can go in the barium and chem dip or washed in the sink. The frame's all scratched up at the bottom, but that doesn't bother me. As long as they're not cracked, they're good. Oh yeah, this is a 1-speed transmission, so this is like the freaking Nitro Sport. Check that one-way bearing. All right, one-way bearing's good. Look at that. That's that kind of stuff I'm talking about. Hopefully it's just a loose screw. It is. See all the little slipper pegs? They're actually sticking out, so they're all still good. We need to wash this, but not barium and chem dip. Oh yeah, remember we need to put this on top dead center. Even though this one don't matter, because I destroyed an HPI engine. I have a video on it. Go check it out. Okay. This is Yin Yang. That's this one's name right here. This is the nastiest, dirtiest, crustiest one I got. But it has the cleanest engine. There is no freaking gunk in this engine at all. And it has really good compression. Ooh, the clutch feels messed up. It sure does. The bearings are screwed up. That's why we do this. All right, let's see that. Oh, look, it's all stuck together. Oh, it does not want to come off. I don't know. We're just gonna have to put some oil on it, let this thing soak. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put all this in the Berryman Chem Dip for about 30-45 minutes. So everything has been cleaned up and ready to go. Got these parts back from the Berryman Chem Dip. We need to act fast, get them blown out. So this bearing's still stuck on there. I have to get it off, and it will not come off. All right, so while we're in there, we don't have any deep scratches, so we're probably good, but there was dust definitely getting in this engine. Dirtiest air filter I've ever seen in my life. See what that corrosion will do? It'll eventually take that anodization off, or whatever it is, the coating. And we want to get some oil in those bearings ASAP. And I'm just going to let the engine sit like this for a while. Hopefully it'll get in that front bearing. See how nice that cleaned up in the Berryman Chem Dip. Oh! Okay, so you just see everything was washed off with water. We still have to go back and deep clean some stuff. Before we start messing with all this, I finally got some RC mats. They make them in black because black is not going to stain, and if it does, you won't see it. But I don't like filming on a black table. I'm going to save this one for later. I like this blue one, but this just seems like it needs to go inside the house. So I forgot I'm bringing my electric RC stuff in here too, so that's what I bought this for, a soldering station. Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, I like this one a lot. It is kind of small. Wow, this is freaking beautiful. Dang, it has all this. What the heck? I like this one. Let's go ahead and just keep working with it. I like it. And then with the nylon bristle brush, we go back and get any areas. And after they've been sitting in Berryman Chem Dip, they should knock off super easy. And when you do this kind of stuff, you really need an air compressor. So you see what I'm doing? I went and made me a freaking latte, and I'm sitting here chilling out, taking my time, taking pride in cleaning this stuff up. So I'm just showing you all this little detail stuff so that you understand why these things look so good in my videos when I get done with them, because I mean, we're cleaning the rust and crust off of every little part. So I'm actually really happy because I just got this thing unstuck. Got it on the little vise. I got 2 medium-sized screwdrivers on both sides, and if you have this stuck, do it on a vise holding the flywheel because you can flex the crank. So I'll put the bearings in Berryman Chem Dip. You don't do that, so we have to check them out. So we want to blow them out, and then I'm just going to put some 3-in-1 oil in them. Could put some grease in there if you want to, or whatever you want. Just showing you what I'm doing. It'll be fine. Okay, so this bearing stayed good the whole time. I called Traxxas and they said WD-40, but 3-in-1 oil works really good for after run oil if you don't want to put WD-40 in there. I still haven't had any problems, but I will let you know when I do. This crank is always at top dead center when you're working on this thing. Put some oil in there. Okay, make sure there's no play in there. Oh my God, I just had my first seal swell up with WD-40. This seal was super tight because I took it out of the Berryman Chem Dip and I just sprayed this little bucket with WD-40 and the seal swelled up. That is so weird. I'm glad it finally happened to me. So what do we do about that? Let's think for a second. So I'm gonna put some, oh gosh, some fuel on it. Let's see if that'll make it go back to normal. I swear I'm watching it go back to normal. I swear it just shrunk back down. You know, I'm not a chemist, but there's chemistry behind everything. I'm not gonna apologize because this is the first one that it happened to. All those other ones it did not happen to, and it's the same can of WD-40. So y'all are not full of shit like I thought y'all were. I knew y'all weren't lying about it. So what I'm gonna say is that there are bad batches of seals out there. It's not gonna cause any problems. I'm putting it right back on there. And hopefully it'll shrink back down. So just watch the gasket. If it is a little swelled up, just watch it go up. See right there. Okay, so that's why we didn't just crush it. Pop it in there real slow. There you go. Good as new. It'll work 100%, I promise you. Make sure you blow this little banjo fitting out. Got a little aluminum gasket on each side. Can be a little tricky getting this spring on. Okay, be careful not to cut that. Okay, it'll pop right in. So we have the engine all ready to go, ready to drop in. All right, so everything's been cleaned. We're not gonna do wheels in this video because I'm having issues. I got these out. Somebody had glued them horribly. I was trying to sandblast that glue off, but I couldn't do it right. So I'm gonna do that another day because we're just gonna paint all these black. I'm gonna wash this a little bit better. This is old. You have insulation that's just falling off. You have to get rid of this stuff. Don't use it. It's not worth it. I go through all this stuff in a video and show you the weird things that I find. That's the point of these videos. I'm not trying to like show off like, oh, I know so much about RC. I think that's about as clean as we're gonna get this motor. All right, so this right here, this is pretty nasty. So the guy I bought the Revo from says he has a Nitro Slash like this, but it has a big block on it and he has a 2-speed transmission. Man, we might have to take this thing inside and wash it. See if any water got inside, and we need to inspect the bearings. Somebody went back and, yeah, this was not done like this from the factory, because the factory would not have put grease right there on the outside of the bearings. Yeah, this was a inexperienced person. That's why I always keep a dirty rag around so we can get all this crap out of here, or most of it. See, don't freaking put grease on the outside of the bearings. I hate when people do that, man. Yeah, do not put grease on the outside edge or the inside of a bearing. So we actually need to pop the little thing and look inside all these bearings. Put some freaking oil in it. See how they have grease all on the inside? Don't do that. So that's put back together, ready to go. Oh, forgot to clean these. For these, we're just gonna put some alcohol in there. I need to buy some more. Do like a little tumbler, a little washing machine. All right, so it's alcohol, so it's just gonna evaporate off. Yeah, just get grease all over this crap. So then this just, okay. Easy start. It's actually the first time I've ever taken one of those apart and there's nothing to it. All right, one-way bearing script towards the crank. So I'll rewash that air filter. No reason to change it out. Still looks good. You should have just changed both filters. Just saying what those people always think. The inside one doesn't show. Now you can't tell that the inside one is ugly. Our fuel tank's cleaned off real good. All right, make sure it's seating. Everything looks good. Okay, now I hate going through these shocks. All right, that one's bent. I just straighten them the best I can, and if they start leaking, I'll buy another stick. Oh, this one's bent too. Both of the back ones are bent. Okay, they have the air pumped out of them. The shocks on this one feel good. I'll just kind of top it off almost. I like to see it come out. Just makes me feel better about it. So get that on there carefully without messing up the seal and the diaphragm. And then these just have to be snugged up. You don't have to over tighten this kind of stuff. And I have not had shocks leak from those O-rings yet. So the springs, they actually look okay, not too bad. And we're definitely gonna need the preload pieces on these. So we're about 4 hours in right now. It takes about 8 hours to do one of these like this. So we're at the tricky stage because there's no kit. So there's no installation instructions or assembly instructions. So you have to kind of figure out how to put it back together. So all this, I do it by hand because I need to feel exactly how tight this is. See how it's not moving free anymore. Just back up, tiny turns. Same thing with this. You don't want any resistance on these parts. So we got the gasket around the gas tank. All this is cleaned up and ready to go. The gas tank, fuel tank only goes in there one way. I left the screws in as many places as I could. You see how I got them in the correct orientation, top, bottom. So if you took every single screw off and threw it in a bucket, you're gonna have a horrible time. So this one's kind of tricky because these parts all kind of interlock with each other. Probably gonna get the engine screwed in there first. Exploded diagrams are on the internet. Hopefully you know that. That's gonna show you all the screws. Put all your screws back exactly where they go. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Oh, freaking Phillips screws. Now I know why people hate them. So let me go ahead and get some of this put together. You kind of got an idea how some pieces kind of stack on there. All right, we're not putting servos in it, but we are going to get it started just to make sure it runs. It should start up. I don't see any reason why it should not. All right, fuel went to the carburetor. I've seen it. Factory settings on the carburetor. This is out of the way. Damn, I've never seen one start up that fast before. Okay, that was opened up a little bit. Damn. Yep, this thing's literally had gas in it for like 1 minute. I don't know why it's running so fast like that. It's running extra fast. Let's close that idle gap a little bit. Damn, I mean, there you go, there's another one. You know, the 3.3s, as I get into Nitro RC, I see people don't like them. I don't understand why. This is like the small block Chevy of freaking Nitro engines. These things are easy to build. They start up perfect every time, just like my Chevy cars do in real life. But I don't have a servo on it. I think that's what it was. We haven't tuned anything. I think the low speed or idle is a little leaned out. We didn't put the servos on because I have a whole freaking box of them we need to check, and I really don't know how to properly check a servo. So I'm fixing to watch some YouTube videos. Hopefully there's some videos out there on that. I think I got this body for like $52. They're on sale right now. The complete body with all the stickers. I hated this body at first. I hated these colors, but this has now become my favorite one. Warning, if you buy one of these bodies, the easy start hole is off on mine, so I'm gonna have to elongate it. It doesn't matter. This body's beautiful. So we got 140, 50 for the body, so let's say 200. And all the parts on this one, as nasty as this was, there was no damage. There was rust and stuff on some of the pins I had to scratch off. There were some bent screws, I just straightened them back. We had life in the slipper clutch. So whenever you have your clearance between your gears, you see how that wheel doesn't wobble left and right. If it's wobbling, you have something going on wrong. And that dirty, crusty engine, cleaned up just nice. This is all the same stuff, same fuel lines. Well, there you go. You saw this thing in the beginning. Now I freaking love it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.